Hello and welcome to Fraggle Talk, Back to the Rock, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we cover Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, episode by episode, along with the talented performers, producers, writers, and builders who help put it all together. I am your host, Silly Creature Joe Hennis. Today we are talking about Season 2, Episode 3, When Mokey Met Lanford, in which Mokey branches out to make a new best bud who really believes in her. I'm sorry, these plant puns are a bit mulch. Thank you so much for the polite laughter. This week, we are so stoked to welcome two extremely special guests back to the podcast. First up, she is the performer behind the Storyteller Fraggle, Cotter Pindoozer, and the Fraggle Fives artist in residence, Mokey. It's Donna Kimball. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Joe. Hello, everyone.
Wonderful to have you here. Thank you for coming back.
I'm delighted to be here. Thanks for having me.
Also joining us is the performer inside Gorg, as well as Lanford, and the character find of 2024, Little Raggo. It's Ingrid Hansen. Hello, Ingrid.
Hi, Joe.
Hello. Thank you both so much for joining. I'm very excited to talk about Mokey, talk about Lanford, and to talk about Mokey and Lanford with you.
We're delighted. And just so the audience knows, Ingrid and I, all while you were talking, Ingrid and I are making faces at each other.
I was trying so hard not to look.
So much, Donna.
That's pretty much how we spent our work days, catching each other's eye across the set and making goofy faces at each other.
Yeah.
And anything can happen below the frame.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yep. Whatever keeps the energy high. So, Donna, tell me, what, if anything, changed for you in your approach to Mokey between seasons 1 and 2?
Oh, in my approach, I felt a little more free this season for sure. I felt like I just think the writers are so great on this show, and they really understand us and want to understand us as performers and how our personalities mesh with the characters' personalities. So I just felt like I just hit the jackpot this season in terms of everything that Mokey had to do, and even things that Storyteller got to do. I think she was sprinkled throughout, like the potent spice she is. And so I felt a little more, I think a little more secure, and therefore a little more free. So I could go a little farther, push myself a little harder, those kinds of things, without resting on the laurels, if you know what I mean.
Ah, is that another plant pun? More laurels?
Oh, hey.
It is now.
Yes.
Because you're a fantastic improviser, and I have to assume there's so much improv with specifically like Mokey and the Storyteller, and also Cotterpin, especially when she's standing next to the architect. And we've talked to some of the writers already on this podcast, talking about trying to write to the strengths of those improvisers. So did you feel like you were kind of getting lines that felt like something that you would say?
Oh, definitely. And I think that's just from, time together and getting to know one another, and feeling a little more free to try things. And that means improvising some new stuff, and feeling, I'm pretty confident, and I'm okay with pitching an idea, because I'm okay if someone doesn't want that idea. I'm not too attached to my ideas that I pitch. So I like, feeling collaborative and getting some ideas out there. But if someone says, okay, let's do it that way once, and then we'll do it my way, and I go, oh, okay, you're just doing that to be nice, but okay, I'll just show you my way and see what happens. But
Sure.
But yeah, throwing out ideas and not being terribly attached. But yeah, I just writers are just, I bow down.
They're very talented. They're very good at their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Ingrid, you were all over season 1, but this season is like kind of your first real jump into getting your own regularly recurring character that you perform solo, I should say, as opposed to Gorg. Can you talk a bit about like what that journey was like for you?
I think I got a call from Johnny saying we have a character who's a real weirdo that speaks only in gibberish. And I thought of you. And I was like, yeah, that's me, typecast, put me in, coach. So, I mean, working with Lanford and with Donna and with everybody was so much fun. It's so fun to play a character who, I love working in gibberish and non-language based stuff. And I really milked Lanford for all he was worth. Like some of the first scenes with him and the this for that scene, like he just started imitating anything that Mokey said. And the directors and editors kept it in, which was so fun. But none of that was scripted or directed. That was just me letting Lanford be a little joyous idiot, So
I was wondering about that. I love to hear that was your choice because Lanford, it must be so hard for any character that doesn't speak and like who also they drive the plot by existing, but not by anything they're actually doing. So the fact that you get to like do this and to have so much comedy and so much to say is really kind of driving Lanford forward and to make Lanford like someone's favorite character for sure.
Yeah, he has a lot of opinions and he thinks he thinks he always knows what's going on, and he it's kind of like he thinks he can speak English, but he doesn't have a tongue or the same mouth structure as a Fraggle. So he he has a lot to say, and usually Mokey understands him. No one else does.
Perfectly, totally.
Yeah.
I have to say, when I heard that you were playing Lanford, I was like, oh, perfect. Because I think Johnny mentioned this, that after season 1, they realized that they had 2 super talented people who were slightly underutilized, and one was Kira Hall and one was Ingrid Hansen. So they both got a speaking part of their own this season, which is tremendous, and we're so thrilled for all of them. But yeah, when I heard that you were Lanford, I was like, oh yeah, because I said this once before, that you, Ingrid, are my favorite combo of performer, in that you're totally insane and you're totally free, but you're such a pro. You're just such a professional. Both of those things exist within you, and I just it's just been a joy.
I was just reflecting last night. I was telling my partner that in one of the sessions where we were recording this song when Mokey Met Langford, and the big duet song that we sang, I was in the recording studio and in the Zoom meeting on Pops Harvey Mason Jr. And I was like, what? And they're like, oh yeah. Producer for
yeah, president of the Grammys, no
Michael
big deal.
Jackson, like honestly,
yeah.
like, and here he is listening to me go,
He wrote it, right? Perfect. He wrote that song. I mean, we'll talk about that song in a bit, but like, I mean, I assume that he would want to, like, he did it on purpose. Like, he wanted to hear it.
Yes, he has yes, it's him and his team. That's yes. So he knew it was coming. Oh, he knew.
Oh yeah.
I have so many more questions about Lanford, but we'll get into it as we watch this episode, because there's a lot of Lanford in this episode. Let's jump into it. Let's not hesitate. It is morning in Fraggle Rock. The recent winds have been keeping Mokey awake. This is her driving force of this episode. And she's so tired that she mistakes these 4 Fraggles who kind of look like Gobo, Red, Wembley, and Boober for her friends. This is not the first time, this is not the last time that we'll see doppelgangers of the Fraggles in this season. That's a little tease for later on. It makes me wonder, like, I don't want to say that all Fraggles look alike, but maybe there's like multiples of everybody, like spares, maybe. Is that a thing?
I don't know about that. I don't know about spares. I think each Fraggle is their own individual person. Mokey just had that haze of lack of sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That clouded her.
And I think with the doppelgangers, it's more like to show that, these Fraggles, the above ground Fraggles and the below Fraggles, are from very different worlds, and yet they all have so much in common.
It's true. Yes.
It's more about the common ground than about them all being clones. Yeah.
One of the Fraggles, these not Fraggle 5 Fraggles, Mokey refers to as Rhonda, and was
Oh yes, the elusive Rhonda Fraggle.
Yes,
do
who
we
is
finally meet Rhonda?
Well, which one of the group is Rhonda? Do we
That
know?
was what I was going to ask you.
See what I mean? I mean,
Okay.
I think it's great that we haven't quite pinned down Rhonda, but I just love that her name is Rhonda.
Or
I've loved that one from the first season. Hey,
or did the
Rhonda?
Fraggle Five just call every other Fraggle Rhonda? Like
Oh, just yeah, like hey buddy,
like calling
hey,
somebody
champ.
bud or
Yeah.
chum or dude. Except
So
Rhonda.
one thing that we're trying to do, we're trying to identify a lot of these background Fraggles, because you all have been doing such a good job of posting behind the scenes stuff on social media this year, and we're starting to learn like, oh, that Fraggle that shows up a few times like has a name.
Oh yeah, they all have
And
names.
They all
yeah,
do.
They all
Yeah.
have
so
names.
we're trying to
Were a lot
figure
of
it
them
out.
named by Jurgen?
Jurgen knows all of their names. And
Did
I
he
think
Jurgen name them? I think
oh,
originator.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some were you know what? I don't know. That's a good Jurgen
I could be
question.
wrong,
I hope
but I
he's
think
going to be on
either
a future.
Jurgen or one of the builders in LA named
Yeah.
them.
But their names
Okay.
are like, Dickie,
Beaky McSchnoz. Beaky,
Hallie.
yeah, Beaky McSchnoz.
There's a Hallie Fraggle.
Hallie,
She has the
oh yeah,
hat.
great.
She's got the hat. Gosh, is there a Gunther?
Peach Pit, Cantaloupe,
Cantaloupe, melon.
Honeydew. Those are the little baby
Honeydew,
Fraggles.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
those are
three
the little
babies.
I love it. It's adorable. And we have so much work to do to update them up at Wiki. We have to figure out which one is
Yeah,
Honeydew.
get on it, nerds.
We're trying. So we're doing this podcast. So Gobo suggests that maybe what they need is a little routine. Let's get back to the 30-minute work week. And Boober has a line. He says, nothing like the drudgery of work to soothe the soul, which is almost identical to something that he said in the original series episode, the 30-minute work week. He says tedium and drudgery are good for the soul. That was a nice little touch. Did you even notice that was a
little homage?
that was a
No,
callback?
I did not.
No.
So many homages for nerds like us to glom onto.
It's kind of it's really true.
It is true.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, when we started this pandemic thing that none of us asked for, and suddenly we're all like out of our regular routines, it really threw a lot of us off.
Well,
I mean,
having
among
the
other
purpose
reasons,
isn't
but
work.
yes.
Yeah.
Not to bring us down with talking about the pandemic, but yeah, sorry about that, everybody. This is where we get our first song of the episode. The song is Workin', which is also from the episode 30-Minute Work Week from the original series. And everyone gets to show off their signature jobs. Mokey is in the garden picking radishes. How do you feel about that? About Mokey being the one who seems brave enough to actually venture into the Gorg's garden every day to get radishes?
I know. I love that. Well, especially now that the Gorgs are all, we're palsy with the Gorgs for now.
For now.
But yeah, yeah, what did she do before then? Did she just sort of peek out, just grab what was there? I think she just went throughout the caves to gather, to forage and gather, I assume.
Sure. I mean, the old show, the original Fraggle Rock, it seemed like that was her job because she was like almost aloof enough to feel like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. This is the job, so I'm just going to go for it. And like almost unaware of the danger. And now the new Mokey doesn't really have that disconnect from reality like the original.
I don't know if I don't know that it's a disconnect from reality, Joe. I'll quibble with you on this.
Yeah, please quibble away.
It's a feeling, a connectedness to the cave itself and the different types of life forms. I think she feels like she knows them and she's the one who knows them. So like, this is my lane. Okay.
Yeah. It's
These
like a trust in the
mushrooms,
universe.
they don't like to get picked past dawn. They're, at nighttime is okay, but after that they get a little grumpy. So
yeah,
like that.
I like it. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
She's in tune. She trusts the universe.
Totally in tune.
She does. Yeah, right. So she's not that she's disconnected from reality. She's very connected to reality.
To her own reality.
Yes, aren't we all?
Wait, who am I? What am I doing? Where do I live?
You're on a podcast. You're on a podcasting.
Okay.
in the song, Gobo's dancing with these two creatures that kind of look like Fraggle-sized doozers, or like a little furry. They're kind of
Yeah,
doozer
yeah.
colored. I tried to find them. I found they're from the original series. They're
Yeah.
called Marshy and Bog. I don't know if that's still their names, but it's what they were called in the old show. So in case
Ooh.
you were wondering, I don't know which one's
Mhm.
Marshy and which one's Bog, but that's their names.
They don't know either.
Probably not.
No.
I believe you. Um, and then the only other thing about this scene is that there's just so many Fraggles. And I love that you are doing this in, if not every episode, almost every episode, that there's just a scene where there's just like 30 Fraggles hanging out in the
Yeah.
background. It looks
Yeah.
so good every time.
Yeah. I mean, gotta
Yeah.
credit Jordan Canning, I think, the director of this episode, for just I mean, we could talk about Jordan a lot. She's amazing.
We love
But
her. She's our
for
Shiro.
yeah, and she's so great at animating the world, and really cares about seeing the depth of the Fraggle universe. And
Mm-hmm.
she's also a puppet nerd, and she really authentically loves the show and loves the puppets, and is bringing out these old puppets from the original series and being like, they need to be in here. This guy needs to be in here. Put that thing up there. Like, yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
a big
And
part
that
of
one,
that is
yeah, the layering of the worlds. And case in
Mhm.
point is, the boober doing the laundry, and then they pull back, and it's Wembley running in forward doing his little siren thing, and then pulls back even for.
Yeah.
So we're hanging off to the side, ready to sort of jump in. And I think Amy and I did the two Fraggles. One has the hose, and one has the hose on the wheel, and
Mhm.
gets
Yeah.
yanked and gets yanked out. So that's Amy and I. So we're all always doubling up. But I just loved that one. That to me was like a diorama that unfolds before your eyes, and I think
Yeah.
Jordan really excels at that,
Oh yeah.
and just and
There's
making that world seem so huge, as you talked about.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot of shots like that throughout this season of
Mm-hmm.
long camera pans, like long shots,
Oh yeah.
and things that I don't think, we always talk about these great puppetry moments that you don't know are really hard to do or a really big performance
Oh
because
yeah.
they look so natural. Like that's you know this, but that's the point of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what Jordan is doing, and the other directors as well, is creating these long camera shots or angles or whatever that are supposed to be big and cinematic, but we don't think about how impossible that must be to do when you're 4 feet up and you're trying to hide the puppeteers and
Yeah.
people are running around below the stage. I can't picture it at all. I'm glad that Jordan
Yeah.
could picture it so she could direct it.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think all of our directors, JJ had some really cool shots too that were pushing through with Red and Boober pushing through to everyone going nope to the nope scene. I loved that
Mhm.
one too, because the set is so huge, and
Mhm.
to be able to show how huge the set is, and just again with the layers and such. And this is a non sequitur, but I think my absolute favorite shot was, I posted this on social media, that was three Mokies. It was maybe he went this way, Lanford, what? And then you see her trip, and then you see her swinging from a branch, where it
Mhm.
was
Yes.
three Mokies with Kira, Ben, and then I was on the last one. Just so amazing. And there was one sort of big column of dirt in between, which is where Kira was hid behind that. And then Ben took the stunt Moki and made her fall. And then she fell out of sight. And then the camera swoops in and goes over and tilts down onto, then we see Mokey dangling, and I've got a blue suit on so you don't see me, but I just thought, wow. And then we got it on like within 4 takes. I think we got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it was towards the end when, like, man, our camera it's a 4-person team on our main camera, and wow, they were just, I used to just go and talk to them and say, how are you guys doing this? And they say, we do it just like you guys. We're just always communicating. You get this, I'll get this, I'll
Mhm.
do this, and you do this. And but it's pretty much just like you guys. We work as a team. We try to read each other's minds.
Mhm.
But just really some gorgeous directing, gorgeous camera work,
Yeah, it's a whole
I
thing. It's
thought.
always a dance with the camera, because the cameras, a lot of older Muppet stuff. You see a lot of lock shots where you might see a 2-minute scene play out in a locked shot where it's all just about the puppets living their life. But when you have the moving camera, you're always doing a dance where you're trying to if you have those long shots and there's 30 puppeteers and you get one puppeteer's head and we got to do it again. We got to do it again, So it's the camera operators are doing a real dance too.
Well, and the fact that because you're already in season 2, you don't have that time that you probably had to take at the beginning of season 1 where everyone's still kind of getting used to each other. And you have that shorthand of collaboration where you really, it seems like the Fraggle Rock team can do anything because like, I know how you move and you can trust me that I'm going to do the right thing, and et cetera, et cetera. It's it is beautiful that the collaboration is so succursuccessful with all of you.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
It's really special.
Yeah, it is.
I always liken it to being like the puppet show. The part that gets on camera is kind of like the tip of the iceberg. And then below the ocean, like below the bottom of the camera's frame, is all of these bodies like crammed together and rotating around and and having to see and a web of monitors. And sometimes you have people moving the monitor mid-shot so it can go from one place to another, so you can see it when you go around a corner. And it's really, really like I really nerd out on that dance, is like the dance of below frame.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Someone just put a GoPro down there. Like, show us what it's like. Yeah.
Well, with the BTS that we've posted, you can see. I mean, there's really not a lot. We can only get our heads out so much because we have to see the monitor. So we can't duck our heads down completely, or we just won't be able to see anything. And it's not like, I think Carol Spinney and I guess Matt Vogel now, they have a monitor on their chest, so their head is already down.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I did as well in Heart.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that gets the head down, but they're already in something. So yeah, not a lot. It's happened a few times. I think it happened on Dark Crystal where someone wore a monitor, on their chest, and that does get their head up. But most of the time it's just us, trying to scrunch. Our chiropractors love us.
Yes, we're very scrunchy.
I'm sure.
We keep them in business.
So the Doozers are setting up wind chimes all over Fraggle Rock so they could track the gusties. And as Cotterpin is showing off the first one, Wrench and Turbo are blowing on it, and it looks like they're puffing their cheeks out. Is that a puppet effect? Is that really, can those Doozers do that?
I don't remember if that was practical or if that's a little CG embellishment. I don't recall. Do you remember, Ingy?
I think it's just the mouth. I think it's just the mouth mechanism moving. That's my guess. It's just that because the Doozer's face is all this very delicate, flocked, foamy material. And I imagine that when you pull the lip down with the lip trigger, it does do that to the cheeks. But I don't know.
Or don't know.
Or they're just real living creatures.
Yeah.
And that's just what happens when you blow on a wind chime. No, well, whatever the answer is, I'm impressed. Like, if it's CG, I didn't notice it was CG. If it's a puppet effect, I'm super impressed. If it's just something that they've always been able to do, that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about Cotterpin since she's in this scene. Did anything change for you about Cotterpin between season 1 and 2?
Really? I really love how steady she is. I think I think what changed might have been just Johnny and I just got a little crazier in between takes with our oh my gosh. Okay, I have to tell you, I drew Johnny's name for Secret Santa, and this was really rough, and I thought, oh crap, because it's like, Johnny, you can't phone it in, you can't just get him a gift card. So I went to the props department and everyone and just gathered little trinkets from like broken bits of Doozer sticks, a broken Doozer helmet, and I turned them all into ornaments.
Oh, what a great idea.
Johnny loves Christmas. I love Christmas, but I thought, what am I going to do for the tree topper? And I was like, oh, I have to make the architect as a tree topper. So there somewhere, maybe I can post this. I have to get permission, but I got a styrofoam head. They gave me a visor and antenna, actual Doozer antenna. And I think Jason gave me an extra little wig and mustache.
Oh,
for
so good.
him. And so the head looked exactly like Architect. And then for his little body, I did strips of script, and it was all our ad libs. Carapin, did I ever tell you about the time I was Fabio's pool boy? Tell me again, sir. So it was just those two lines, but in strips all around, and I curled them to look like a gown. So,
Oh my God.
so
Oh,
we
that's so
went a little
good.
nuts. Yeah. So, and then I put it on the tree in the lobby next to craft service, and he discovered it with a bunch of people around, which was really fun. So, I think just really we just went nuts, and I really love that the Architect just got just crazier and crazier and wearing the strawberry hats and the wigs and all of that stuff. I just love it. And Cotterpin, I think we ended every scene with Cotterpin going, this hat's a winner, don't you think? So, some of the made it in and some did not. Oh, well,
It's her new catchphrase. Yeah. I just love when there's a character that can literally get away with saying anything. And
yes.
the Architect does it for me. So good.
Yeah, and they're a good pair. She's a good straight man, I think, for him.
Yeah.
She's just all about business and getting the job done. And yeah.
But that's also the storyteller. The storyteller does that for me, where she can say or do anything. It's in character and it's always hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, there was this one time right after Radishes and Strawberries where Boober leaves and then they come back, and it's the two sides are going at each other, and storyteller's sort of left in the middle trying to keep each side calm. And so they just let me improvise for a really long time. None of it made it in. It was so good. I just went on and on about, I think one of my favorite was, guys, I've been divorced 7 times. I get it. Okay. But you can't come to blows, even though you really, really want to. And when I say really, I know, because husband number 4, let me tell you. I just went on, and they just let me. So,
yeah. That's good stuff. And now I'm curious what Fraggle marriage is like. We've never seen a married Fraggle, have we?
Oh yeah, I may have effed with the lore a bit.
No, add more lore. That's what we want. Build on the lore.
Well,
all right. Well, season 3, Storyteller's 8th marriage. We'll look forward to it.
That's right. You know who she has her eye on?
I do.
It starts with an ends with an at.
His mustache is a song.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's so good. So Mokey comes back from the Gorg's garden, and she comes across a giant plant that has been uprooted and knocked over by the wind. And who is it? It's Lanford.
Yay!
Lanford was maybe the number one character that I heard about after season 1, of people being like, yeah, it's great that we got the Fraggles back and all these background characters and the Gorgs, et cetera, but where's Lanford?
Really?
Yes, heard a lot of people asking for Lanford.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. So great. I'm glad he's back. So did you do any research of what the old Lanford acted like or spoke like, anything like that? Or did you just feel like you had carte blanche to do whatever you wanted?
Both.
Great.
Yeah. I watched a bunch of the OG. I've rewatched a bunch of the OG episodes with Lanford in them, and then also because the puppet was quite redesigned with a very different shape and all these different things, and I felt completely free to go wild with it, which is so much fun. And there's so much leeway because he's a plant, so he can do whatever he wants.
Ingy, did you get a chance to because oftentimes if it's a new character, the creature shop, when we have a moment, can go in and play with the character, make friends, and ask for any sort of modifications. You got a chance to do that, right? With the pot and everything?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was always yeah, I did a little bit. And then I poor Dusty in the creature shop. I really worked that mouth palette on that puppet, trying to make him scrunch his face into a weird little
Yeah.
expressions. And eventually I kept peeling his lip away, and my fingies would poke through, and poor Dusty had to glue it back in many, many times. The thing is with that beautiful puppet too, is it's all carved out of soft foam, so beautifully carved, but the Fraggle set is coated with this like scritchy, fake rock stuff that's quite sharp, and
it's like the scratchy side of Velcro, and the Fraggles are the soft side. So now you can imagine.
And the soft foam puppets that aren't even covered with the fleece, they're so much more vulnerable to getting sliced by that. So I had to navigate that, keep your little leafies safe.
Which must have been hard for a character who's literally rooted to the ground.
Totally. And you also have your face and your body and your torso like smushed up against the set all the time. So yeah, I cut up his leafies a few times. I had to glue them back together.
It'll be okay.
Yeah,
they grow back. That's what leaves do. Yeah,
right. He's a hardy breed.
Puppets too, right? They just grow back.
Yeah.
Great.
I hear all the Wranglers going, oh, God. Oh,
Mokey immediately asks him if he wants to come live with her in Red. Like, she doesn't even, like, it's not even like, do you want to get out of here? Do you want to, like, what are your hopes and dreams? It's just immediately like, oh, you're sentient. Do you want a new home? And Lanford's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Best friends.
When you know, Joe, when you know, you know.
When you know, you know. It's true.
And I feel like that's a lot of little kid relationships too, right? If like you're 5 and there's another kid who's near, like lives next door to you, or just moves in, who's also 5. You're like, you're 5, I'm 5, we're best friends, done. Like there's no, it's just
that's literally happened to me and other Muppet fans. Like there are people who and people who are like puppeteers, like that you probably know, who it's like we just have that moment of we should be friends. We have this thing in like let's just be friends. We're friends now. It's done. Like oh, by the way, I'm Joe. Like that's it. There's that's the first thing we say. These little things that bring us together. Yes. In outer space, Doc is building a model of a wind turbine. And when she turns on the fan, it breaks, but she also hears the Doozer's wind chime inside the Fraggle hole. She wonders out loud if maybe it's like Mrs. Schimmelfinney installed a wind chime, and immediately Mrs. Schimmelfinney from off screen shouts no. Do you know who that was as Mrs. Schimmelfinney?
I voiced Schimmelfinney in season 1, but I think that Schimmelfinney might have been my bud Kira. I don't know. That's just a guess.
We'll have to ask Kira if that was them. Because I'm curious. Like there was no credit as far as I could find. So, like one line, you still get a credit. Gotta add it to that Muppet Wiki page.
Yeah, it was Rhonda. It was Rhonda.
Yep,
Rhonda.
Rhonda. I don't know. I love that they kept the Schimmelfinney name as the name.
Is Mrs. Schimmelfinney's first name Rhonda?
Rhonda.
Did we just crack this wide open?
Yes. Everybody's not already named is named Rhonda.
Done. Yeah, updating the wiki now. Yep. Later in the episode, we'll skip ahead just so we're not jumping back and forth with Doc and Sprocket too much. But later in the episode, Doc is investigating the location of the wind chime, and she manages to get like her entire upper body inside the Fraggle hole, which is a great image. But also, I think this is the furthest any silly creature has ever been into Fraggle Rock. Think about that. It kind of makes me feel like season 3, she's going all the way in.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know. It's exciting to think about.
Yep.
Worlds colliding.
That's right. Someone's got to do it. It might as well be Lily Cooper.
Yeah.
Who is wonderful on this show, by the way. Like
she really just is great. Love her.
What a treat. I love the way she performs Doc. Yeah. Again, finally. What we were all asking for after season 1 is you have Lily Cooper and you on a musical show and you don't have her sing.
And Amy Garcia too.
Yeah.
She was just in, I think, a lot of choral numbers and the occasional step out line, but to have 2 such amazing singers just really get to belt it all out. It's just so great.
How lucky we are.
We are. We are the lucky ones.
We are. So Mokey brings Lanford into Fraggle Rock to meet everybody. Okay, so she's like walking into the scene holding Lanford. And like you said, it's a jumble of human beings below. I cannot picture what position the two of you are in, or if there's
Headlock.
even just two of you, if there might be more.
There's a name for it, Joe.
Tell me.
It's the benevolent headlock.
Yes.
I've never heard this before.
Donna
which is
raps.
also my punk band name. That's my punk band name.
I love that.
But I literally am. It's like have my both arms around Ingrid's head. So if you can imagine, I'm holding Ingrid's head.
Right.
Hence the headlock. So, Mokey is, and the pot is right up against my forearm.
Yeah.
And so Ingrid's body is pretty much right up against mine. And so Mokey's right arm is hopefully attached to the pot. And then that way it's just two of us. When it's not attached to the pot and someone's doing it, then we're like a 3-person train, which is a little tough. And then what about you with your leaves, Ingy? Were you just always pulled in your arm?
Usually when
leaves?
we walk, Lanford's got his leaves all tucked into the pot. You don't see him. But yeah, Donna's like the arm that Donna uses to perform Mokey's arm rod is literally like wrapped around my neck. It's so cold. And yeah, and then I get a Donna hug all day long.
That's
All
nice.
day. That's right.
Yep.
That's why puppeteers always have a spare deodorant in their bag too.
Mhm.
You're welcome, Ingy.
Thank you. You always smell great.
Can you imagine like having a job where you just get to be hugged all day? Like that
Yeah,
sounds
working
really
at
nice.
Disney.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I would think
Yeah,
that
if you were a
might get
Disney
old, but we
mascot.
would
Oh, sure,
we would
yeah.
say, but we would say, okay, let's go. And we're going up because we have to go up together and come down
Mhm.
together because we're literally attached. So, and then walking was the hardest part, but I think we got it. But I think I just ended up just sort of indicating to you in a huge way that I was walking. And so I'm kind of, you see Mokey kind of marching when she has the pot. And that's because I'm basically sort of indicating to Ingrid that this is how we're moving and this is the cadence and all of that stuff. But it took a while to find all that stuff. But that scene where carrying Lanford and then the pot of soup, dumping the soup and then sticking Lanford, that was tricky. Puppets and props are always tricky, but yeah.
So let's talk about that because
Mhm.
so first of all, so like you said, she dumps out the soup and then Lanford goes into the pot. But it looks like there's real soup in the pot at first, but there obviously has to be a hole for Ingrid's arm.
Multiple pots, Joe.
Yes, and
Get
clever cutting.
out of here.
Yes, multiple pots.
Can I tell you how dumb I am that it didn't even occur to me that there would be 2 pots?
We have multiples of lots of things on the show, and that's how we make the magic, right? It's like that magician trick of, pulling something down, pulling it back up, and it's somehow changed. Yeah, it's
Totally.
You're not dumb. We're very tricksy.
That's right. You found the magic. You believed the magic.
I
That's
believe
a good
it.
thing.
I believe everything you all do. This is why I'm doing a podcast so that I can educate myself on how multiple pots work.
Yeah.
So Boober immediately identifies Lanford as a night-blooming, yellow-leafed deathwort, a germ, and the germ capability TBD.
Yeah.
Very, very Boober. And he's got a side hobby that he loves botany. I love that we're learning so much about Boober.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that was a fun line.
He does not have a name yet. Wembley loves naming things. Shirt.
Yeah.
So great, so dumb.
How close Lanford came to being named Shirt?
No. Lanford has an opinion on that.
Mokey meditates on it. She asks the cave comes up with Lanford, and Lanford loves it.
I think Mokey could have said anything and Lanford would have loved it.
Except Shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's that kind of preferential thing where Lanford's kind of like a, when you meet a cat or a dog that intensely loves one person and then hates everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a bit.
Lanford is a really good hype man for Mokey.
Yeah.
Whatever you say. Yes, I'm on board. Let's do it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so Mokey puts Lanford in the Boober's bisque pot, and I like Boober says, well, that pot's contaminated now. Enjoy keeping it forever. And he
So
does.
funny.
He does keep it forever.
That's right.
That night, Lanford is having trouble sleeping, so Mokey is joining him for gong meditation, which is loud but effective. And Poggy comes in and starts playing the flutes loudly and poorly to try to help. Obviously, Red is not having any of this. But what I love about this is that Mokey and Lanford are wearing matching radish pajamas.
Yes.
Adorable.
Yeah, we're pretty cute.
Yeah.
And
Do they make those
It-
in my size? Is what I want to know.
oh,
So
there's a bunch
great.
of cool Fraggle swag out now.
Mm-hmm.
Like sweatshirts.
That's
and-
true. Yeah. We were seeing that the company, I don't know how to pronounce it, if it's Results or Resvolts. It's like RSVLTS. And they've been
Yeah.
making these great Henson branded shirts, like button down shirts.
You can get a
And-
Wembley shirt,
Yes.
banana shirt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing
Yeah.
the Wembley banana tree shirt, which is amazing. I need one.
So awesome.
Also, like
Yes.
Yeah.
only real nerds would recognize what that's from. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Because it doesn't.
I
It's
do.
not like it doesn't have a big picture of Wembley on it or anything. But true nerds would be like, "Oh my god, that's a
Right.
Wembley banana."
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Wear it out to, Target and the grocery store and you find your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Or
find your
you
people.
find all the Jimmy Buffett fans who are just like, yeah, Margaritaville, great.
And you're like, no, it's Wembley. God.
Good. Jimmy Buffett
Ooh.
fans. In the Gorg's garden, Junior's raking and gardening, and Pa runs out in his armor and sword. He's ready to defend his castle against the Fraggles. Which I also have to assume that these are from like props from the original show, because I know you guys just reuse that stuff all the time. It's just a gorgeous, like the armor and the big wooden sword. It's just pretty.
I think some of the armor might be new. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Ma's costume is all original.
Yeah.
So with some small updates and stuff, which is just blows my mind that I get to perform in a puppet that is parts of it are older than I am, and that it doesn't even smell. Like they must have taken such good care of it.
Yeah.
The rare opportunity I get to do something like visit like one of the Muppet workshops or the Henson workshops, I usually go in with the secret goal of like, I want to touch something that like Jim touched, or like that's from like the old days. And like sometimes you'll find like one thing and it's like, oh, okay, I'll just reach out my hand and put my finger on it. Okay, that's good enough. I have a connection to this thing that came from 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But like you're literally encompassed in it when you're in Gorg.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It is wild. And I think it's the storyteller is also OG.
Really?
She's been refurbished. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to assume like most of those background characters are, just, why would you rebuild, some of these hyper specific characters, but like they've been sitting in a drawer for decades. So why not just use them?
Yeah, the cave creatures, yes. All the background
Yeah.
Fraggles are all new builds, but
Sure,
all those,
yeah.
most of those cave creatures and the rock monsters and stuff, the soft foam doesn't degrade, which is amazing. So the squishy mango bird and the little rock monstery creatures, all those things, they are probably repainted or touched up or something. But other than that, it's like that foam just doesn't rot. It's amazing.
That's cool.
There's and Bagooni. Bagooni is
Yeah.
renamed. I have a shot of a terrified Mokey next to Bagooni. that I'll probably never post, but it was like, oh, PTSD.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
her abusive ex,
Yeah.
kind of. Ooh.
Scary.
Let's talk a little bit about Ma. She doesn't show up much in this episode, but so in season 1, the fans were kind of complaining a little bit about the fact that Ma and Pa Gorg are like barely seen outside the castle. Like they kind of just stick their head out the window and have a couple lines and then retreat back. So how does it feel to get to do so much more with Ma Gorg in the season?
Oh, it's a totally different zone. Like they're full body characters, and so they don't really play that well when it's just a shot of your face peeking out a window. And then getting to play with them out in the space, interacting with each other, dancing, like it's just so much fun. And it's kind of, there's like an infinite potential to improve upon it and find the nuances of these characters and how they live. Like I got to do, there's a fun shot in this, I think this episode where, that Jordan Canning encouraged me to do, where Ma's walking back into the castle and she goes, oh, and she's wagging her bum side to side.
Sachet to her.
Yeah, and that was a discovery where it's like the puppet's torso is so large that in order to articulate the booty, I think I like sandwiched my elbows into the side of the puppet and then used that force to like be able to twist the booty, because of course like the puppet's booty isn't connected to my booty. There's no, right? It's like, yeah, so there's always like weird trying to figure out how they can sit and lie down without the torsos collapsing. But so much fun getting to play with Bender O'Shea and Andy Hayward, who are inside of Junior and Pa. And yeah, it was I can't wait to do more. Hopefully.
I love that this podcast we're really getting down to like how Gorg booties work. I think that's
yeah,
we're doing important work here.
Yeah. Finally,
getting down to the meat of the matter here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Junior has discovered that he has a new crop of strawberries in his garden. Right next to he calls out his prize radish Geraldine, which is also a reference to the old show. Strawberries, they're everywhere. That's it might be important. We'll see. Keep watching, kids. Yeah. In the next scene, Mokey is teaching a painting class, or at least leading a painting class with the other Fraggles. But she is very distracted by taking care of Lanford. All the Fraggles are wearing very cute little smocks, and they have paint on the end of their Belubiuses. They're using as paintbrushes. What is this substance that's at the end of their tails? Like, is it just like a piece of plastic that's been clipped on, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's like plastic, like it's like super bendy and shiny. I don't know how they do it.
I mean, I imagine acrylic paint is like liquid plastic, right? So I imagine you could take a smooth surface like glass or plexi, paint a thick layer of acrylic paint onto it, peel it up when it's dry, and then, like double stick it to a tail or something. I'm sure it's way more difficult and complicated than that.
Yeah, just something that won't leach color onto the puppet. So when they splatter boober, of course, those are all like basically stickers because they can't, put actual paint on them. I just remember that scene was very hard to shoot because the easels are all in a semicircle, and then the rock that Ingrid is under. And so we have just very limited space, and all of those easels are on a wooden something to hold them up. So I just remember a lot of tripping, and I think we all had an assistant to do the tail, to do the painting part. Yeah. And so it's like holding the body away, but looking over the shoulder, and then knowing when to do this to Boober, and this slaps him in the face. It took a long time. I remember that. And then figuring out what the selfie would be, the little selfie bit. That was interesting too. Fun.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because I think first of all, when the first time I watched this episode, when Mokey says we'll just do a selfie, and I thought my first that in that instant is no, don't try to throw like current slang, like selfie. What is that? Like, of course, not thinking the fact that like they don't even have a camera. And so she and Lanford pose. She runs and paints a little bit, pose again, runs and paints a little bit. And the Fraggle's just watching her go back and forth. Hysterical. But yeah, you have to hit that same pose, posing at no one in particular, by the way, over and over again.
Yeah.
Was that difficult?
It was a challenge to see it in the script and go, oh crap, I have to make this come to life somehow. And so Ingrid and I are going, how do we do this? How do we do it? And, and how do we physically execute it? And how do we come up with something that's funny? So I think we I seem to recall that we threw a few ideas around, but I think this was the one that we settled on. That we pose, and then Mokey remembers it, goes and paints a little bit, and then pose again. Okay, yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
it was tricky to do, but it was one of those times where you see something in a script and go, okay, I gotta pull this off, huh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you
you
try
pulled it
some
off
stuff,
great.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it came out very, very funny. So,
Thanks. And Ingrid,
and
you were so because Lanford's in the pot on the rock. So Ingrid has basically her head shoved into the styrofoam rock so that her arm can get through the rock and
Yeah.
through the pot and into the puppet. So
Yeah.
you were pretty uncomfy that day.
I get real squashed.
Yeah.
and you have to hit the exact same pose like 4 or 5 times.
Well, I think
in a
the
row.
fun thing about it is like Mokey could suggest anything and Lanford would play along, and
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily even really know what they're doing, but he just knows that she's going, ha! So he's going, blah! And then she runs away and comes back and goes, ha! And he goes, blah! Just like,
That's right. You were
know,
like a half
she-
beat behind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
could
did-
do anything and he would copy it, right? Because he just
Yeah.
thinks she's the coolest and loves her so much. And
I did notice that like he is kind of like, oh, we're doing this again, okay. Yes, that
yeah,
moment
he
of
doesn't
like,
really know what's going on.
oh,
He's
another
just
one,
going,
sure.
yeah, he's like, my cool big sister is doing this, so I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Red confronts Mokey about the Lanford situation. She says ever since Lanford showed up, she's been a little obsessed. And as she says this, Mokey has gotten into a pot and is sitting there with fake leaves on her hands, which is adorable. And so you got to see what it felt like, Donna, to be inside of a
Yes.
pot like Ingrid has been for this whole episode.
Right.
Yeah, so she's embracing the joys of soil living, which sounds like a real thing.
Oh, I bet it
Right?
is. Well,
Yeah.
it is. There's a whole movement of people who say you have to stand in with your bare feet on the dirt 10 minutes a day to ground your ions or something. It's supposed to be good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm all over that. All over that. Yeah.
Some of us don't live anywhere near dirt, you know?
Just get a Tupperware container, fill it with some dirt. It's the same thing.
Sure. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I gotta get those ions through
Yeah.
my feet.
Gotta
Yeah.
get him.
Mhm.
But yeah, they have a big argument. Mokey storms out with Lanford. Meanwhile, the Doozers are continuing to hang wind chimes all over the rock, and Cotterpin says everything's going perfectly, which, as we all know, when you say that on a TV show, the rule is that something has to go terribly wrong.
Mhm.
Large Marvin shows up and he's starting to eat her wind chime. She says, "Why can't you just eat the buildings?" And he says, "What buildings?" Because they got so distracted building these wind chimes, they forgot to build new buildings.
Mhm.
And not for nothing, it's Cotterpin's fault for making these wind chimes edible to begin with.
That's what I do, Joe. That's just what I do.
Sorry, Cotterpin.
Yeah.
It
I'm
happens.
so curious.
Uh,
Sorry.
It also feels like a way you could be like, conversation over, Joe. Move on to the next topic. Yeah.
Sorry, Ingrid. What
Ingrid, you were saying.
No, I'm so curious. How did the fans feel about Marvin? Because I love him and he's so weird and he doesn't really he's so unique from all the rest of the Fraggle designs. And you're like, what is this like melty pink creature?
No, I love Large Marvin.
I love him.
In I think it was the last episode with the twisty turny-thon, and he's got this like beautiful tracksuit on, which is exactly what a guy like Large Marvin would be wearing. And in season 1 of Back to the Rock, when there's the council of really it's like all of the
goofballs,
like quote unquote adult Fraggles, and that like Large Marvin gets to be a part of that. And yeah, he just brings something really unique to Fraggle Rock. And like any Fraggle who visually looks different is automatically exciting. But I'm grateful that unlike the original series, even though his name is Large Marvin, there's no like fat jokes.
No,
like he does like to eat. They all like to eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no fat phobia surrounding Large Marvin.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah. That tracksuit is everything.
Beautiful.
So good.
Yeah. Now, if we can just bring back Marlin Fraggle and team them up again. Do you remember Marlin?
Remind me.
Yeah, so
Marlin.
he's like a Peter Lorre character. He had like one
Oh,
big eye, one small
yeah.
eye.
Oh,
and-
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah. There, yeah, like
Wow.
there, yeah. Ingrid's doing an
Yeah.
impression.
I will say the one thing that distresses me from the OG series is the episodes where the Fraggles have beards. I just
Mm.
I
Tell
don't
me
like it.
why.
I don't know, just don't like it. It's instinctual. I just look at it and go, nope, no goatees. Get them off.
So, do you
Do you know what I'm
hate
talking about?
the world's oldest Fraggle?
No, because that's like a specific character or beard. That makes sense. But it's like the weird kind of chin strap goatees.
Are you
I'm
talking
sure
about
I'm gonna
like?
make a lot of fans really mad by saying this, but
Are you talking about just like when
taking a
the
stance.
fur from the puppet is like too far up on the chin,
No,
or they literally have a beard?
you watch season 1. I think it's
Yeah.
especially in the opening credits. There's some of the background Fraggles who have these like goatees that are
Oh.
specific goatees on the. It's weird. I don't like it.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna look for that. I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I'm having trouble picturing it, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
means
Yeah.
that what if it's creepy, it has escaped my notice.
It's not specifically creepy. I just don't like it. I don't know why.
That's okay. There's only
Yeah.
2 Fraggles who are allowed to have facial hair, and it's World Oldest Fraggle and Traveling Matt. Everyone else,
Yeah.
clean
That's
shaven
right.
or go home. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
Taking a
Yep.
stance.
Uh,
Bring on the haters. I'm taking a stance.
So we get our next song here. It's the song Just Takes Two. This song, this is such a highlight of this episode. The two of you performing this
Yes.
song. Lots of singing plants in the background. I'm sure they all have names. We don't need to go through them, but they're all visually beautiful. There's so much great choreography here. Tell me, what's the process for like learning the choreography for a Fraggle scene?
Well, we actually had like rehearsal time on this because we block shoot. And this was our first block. This episode 103 was in the first block. So we have like a half day-ish rehearsal time, and that's when we choreographed it all.
Mhm.
So it's between Ingrid and me and Johnny, who assisted me, and Amy, who assisted you.
Yeah. With the
We
hands.
kind of just we were choreographing it and learning it all at the same time because we're all pretty experienced puppeteers. So how about this? Does this look good? Does this look good? Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so after this we'll do this bit. Okay. And so we basically, and I think someone probably filmed it just so we would have a record of
cool.
it so that
Yeah,
we would remember
good.
on shoot day. But yeah, and little things like when Mokey swaps sides, Johnny has to let go of the rods and I have to kind of grab them and then run to the other side. And then he has to meet me on the other side by going around Amy in front and then grabbing the rods again. So, and they're both, Amy and Johnny are on rolling stools. So they'll be a little lower than Ingrid and me. But yeah, it's quite, and you see it, I think I posted something on social media where you kind of see it, but I don't know if you can see how the rod thing happens. But yeah, it's kind of it's intense. So we knew we'd get that first chorus, cause you and me, that whole bit through. So we did that pretty much all in one. And then in the background bits, the little creatures in the background plants, they have their own choreography too, that they're doing. So
That's cool.
yeah, but it
Are
was
you literally
fun.
like are you literally like in one of those rehearsal rooms with the big mirror as you're doing it, or are you on set as you're kind of developing this choreography?
We were on
Usually
set
Yeah.
with just regular lights, no fancy lights, no fog machine or anything. And I think we did have a camera because that's how we saw monitors. So they just sort of throw a camera up and we're just using, the regular house lights to sort of lay it all down and get a basic idea. And then for like the twirl, we knew that they said, can you, sometimes when puppets have their hands locked and they're spinning, it's one puppeteer. That happens fairly often. But this was the first time that I put a line of tape on the floor so that I could stay within frame as I spun backwards. Because when you're spinning, you can't even really check a monitor anyway. So I just sort of made sure that their eye lines, they were looking at each other. and then spun and then got the monitor, and it worked out okay. But that was the first time I had Lanford on, which was fun.
Oh, that's fun.
But it's
Yeah.
quite a heavy load to have Mokey, who's pretty heavy anyway, and then Lanford and the pot. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
up they
yeah.
go and all that. But gosh, it was fun.
And director Jordan Canning really storyboarded out that musical number too, and had a really had some specific requests for that kind of 90s best friend cheesy style choreography of like back to back and pointing and all this really cute.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
and of course the Dirty Dancing lift.
Yes.
That was
such an iconic moment for this season. It was in, I don't know if you knew, like it's in all the promotional materials that were sent to us before the show premiered.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that little Lanford is trembling and straining. Like, she's oblivious, she's just like, woohoo!
She's
living
her
my
best life.
He's a plant. He's not that strong. His arms are made of cellulose.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's lifting her with the power of photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Are you both on a like a green screen or blue screen in that moment, or are you just kind of matted out later on?
Donna was in the blue suit, right?
Johnny and I were in the blue suit. I think Johnny was working the tail in that shot, so we're literally behind her, and then we like let go, and then you see the puppet's legs, and they get that for reference, and then they put it all together at the end. And you were underneath the. Now, who was doing your rod? Oh, your rods were attached to Mokey, weren't they?
Yeah. So
Your hands
Lanford's
weren't
leafy hands were pinned to Mokey's body, and then and we shot that on the actual Fraggle Rock set. So that wasn't shot in blue screen, but just Donna and Johnny wore blue suits to get wiped
That's
out
cool.
later.
It looks so
really
good.
Cool.
It really does.
Yeah, I was really happy with how that turned out. And that song is just, I think I've said this before, but when I heard the demo of that song, I was like, oh, I get to sing this. It's so great. And it's this type of song where you listen to one time and then you can sing it because it's such a so great. It's just such a good
an
earworm.
Song. It's a bop. Well, the best part of the song, you know what I'm going to say, it's Lanford's verse.
Right.
That Lanford sings a whole verse. It's not just like a little bit of like a word here or there, like like if it was like Bunsen and Beaker singing a song, and Beeper's just kind of Beeper is just singing a couple of lines here and there, but like you get a whole like what is Lanford saying? It's amazing.
Very emotional. Yeah. He's pouring his heart out.
Okay, so
and you put your own spin on it at the end. You went, ah!
Yeah.
That was all you. That wasn't on the demo.
So the demo has someone doing a Lanford impression.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, and a Mokey impression.
That's cool.
Sam is one of Harvey's team, and he has an amazing falsetto. So he's Mokey's voice. And I guess Andrew was probably the voice of Lanford.
I think so. Yeah.
We gotta hear these.
On the
Someone's
demo,
got to release these demos to us.
I wish I still had them,
great.
but no, they disappear. But the demos are amazing, and all Harvey's team, they're amazing singers in their own right, and they do the harmonies, they do all our parts, and they really, really try to have the spirit of our character, and it's so helpful.
Yeah, they do a great job of singing the demos in a Fraggly character, like in a Fraggly spirit. So
at this point in the episode, we get our traveling Matt postcard. He's at a gym and he's getting everything wrong about how to use gym equipment, which can be dangerous. Like you shouldn't use gym equipment if you don't know how to use it. You could get hurt. It's not really what this is about, but I'm just saying that as a PSA. He sends back a tube sock, which Boober seems pretty excited to see. And the postcard says, if Hat Guy says it looks like a giant sock, be sure to tell him it's much more than that. And you know what? It is. I think Boober would have known that anyway, because he feels pretty strongly about socks.
I just love that they use the phrase Hat Guy.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Which
Matt,
is funny. Matt refuses to
because
his name.
Matt also wears a hat. He's also Hat Guy. They decide someone should talk to Mokey, who understands what it's like to obsess over things. And so, although I feel like they all kind of obsess over things in their own way, they give the job to Boober, who is currently obsessing over cleaning this filthy sock. Boober finds Mokey and Lanford. Mokey is finishing a story She says, and that's when I realized that I could taste colors. Is this an ad lib, Donna?
No, that was,
Yeah.
I know. They were so good. I loved that. Yeah. So no, that was all credit to the writers there, which I guess was
Well
Johnny.
done.
Johnny
Yeah.
with Matt and Alex. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that sounded exactly something you would say.
Mhm.
Boober tells her like he knows exactly what she's going through. It's so much easier to focus on what you can control over what you can't. And Mokey admits that she does need help, and she feels like she's sinking. She's literally sinking, figuratively, but also literally, because she's slipping into sink soil. Um, and
Mm.
this is a great image too, where she, like her feet are firmly in the soil, and Mokey is wearing like her green dress, and her arms are out. She looks like a big plant. Uh, so tell me how this scene is filmed. Like, how is this shot composed?
Um, well, we shot the bits where the scene with Boober doesn't have any effect or anything. It's just the two of them, a half body Mokey and everything. She's just in the area. So we don't have the soil yet, but I just loved that scene so much.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really beautiful. And um, I mean, I think we all can relate. And I
Yeah.
think in this post-pandemic world, unfortunately, kids can relate
Mhm.
to overcompensating with focus and care when on something that you can control when life feels uncontrollable. And I just think it was lovely, and I loved that was that moment between Boober and Mokey. I thought was just super super special. um and then when we get to the dirt,
Mm-hmm.
they're little, like, is it cork pellets
I
or
think it's
rubber
maybe it's like a
pellets?
rubbery substance,
Mhm.
kind of like the rubber that's on the bottom of those kids' playgrounds.
Yeah.
But it's
Mhm.
all the dirt is made out of lots of little tiny nubbins of this rubbery stuff, almost like little
Crumbles, yeah.
pellets. Yeah. And
So
Donna
so it's
gets it
fine.
all rained down on her as she hides underneath
Yes. So
the
I'm
dirt.
trying to remember. Oh, you know what? It was Brendan was underneath pulling Mokey. And so Brendan's actually getting rained on. And I have a blue suit and I'm going through the back of Mokey's head. And then
Mm,
two other people are doing her rods sort of sticking out. So yeah, it's Brendan, I think, that's pulling her through this gasket and
pulling her
having
toes.
the raining down of the
Yeah.
stuff. And so we have to push her up, pull her down,
Oh,
and
it's very
push her
tricky.
up. So, and
Yeah.
incidentally, holding a puppet straight out is one of the hardest positions to puppeteer in. When you're holding a puppet absolutely straight out, for me, it's just killer. But
I could see
luckily, we
that.
didn't
Yeah.
take that many. Yeah, it didn't take that many takes, but I just loved the uh, the effect. And even before that, when you see at
Yeah.
the very end of the song, where you see her little feet and start to
Mhm.
sink into the soil.
Mhm.
That's Johnny doing the feet, by the way. I was off doing something else. But yes, the
Great.
fun puppetry effects.
And
And
then
then
there's
later, oh, sorry,
yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
the slingshot, like this.
Oh my God. Yeah. So later
Oh,
she is halfway down. And so that is me getting rained on.
Yeah.
But then when they the grabby flappy, and then yeah, then it's the stunt Mokey flying through, which we shot in slow-mo for our own BTS fun.
yeah, I have a slow-mo video of it somewhere. And well, Jurgen, who's just such a brilliant puppet builder and wrangler, was so excited to have this idea where he fed a piece of rubber tubing through the sock, the grabby flappy, and attached it on one end to Mokey and then on the other end so that you could stretch it and pull it and then let go, and Mokey would be pulled by the elastic to rocket out of the dirt and smack into the Fraggles. So it was a
Oh,
very,
great.
very clever rig to make the actual effect of somebody being pulled out of pulled out of a hole, and that real smack. So that's all real. That's all shot
Yeah.
real. That's not
And there were two
CG.
Mokies in that scene. I think Amy was in the hole with stunt Mokey and let go. And she would just like, okay, and let go. Shkadoink. And then they all had to fall down. And then Mokey gets up with them. So I'm kind of hiding underneath to get up with Amy in the hole doing the
Yeah.
the
It's
stunt Mokey. So fun. Little Texas
Oh,
switch
that's so
there.
good. Oh, I love it. I love
yeah.
a good skadoink. Oh, good stuff. Uh, the episode kind of ends. We see that actually first we were talking about these long sweeping shots. We get another one of those that kind of starts at Doc's Fraggle hole and goes underground through Fraggle Rock. We see some fun creatures like Skenfrith and like this blue armadillo looking guy and an ink spot.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know who I'm talking about when I say blue armadillo looking guy. There's another one where like I don't think we know what he or it is called.
You mean the
I
gray
remember
blue
the
rock monster?
Oh, is it a blue
The
rock
like
monster?
curly tail?
See now of course I don't have it in front of me, but I'll like email you a
Yeah.
picture of it and be like, what is this thing?
He might not actually
Uh
be blue, but be lit with a blue light because I can't
that
think
could
of
be
blue.
they are underground, so there could be
Yeah.
any kind of light
Yeah.
or like the rocks kind of affecting what I feel like I think I'm seeing on screen.
Mm.
It doesn't matter. This is only important to like 12 of us. So Red and Mokey are sitting on Red's hammock, which is also a cool visual that like there's weight to the Fraggles when you see them on something like a hammock. I love that.
Mhm.
Red says that Lanford isn't all that bad, and they can go visit him whenever Mokey wants. And Mokey says, "Great, because Lanford's going to live with them." And Lanford's right outside the window, and Red is not happy about that. And then Pokey shows up again, playing their flute,
Love Poggy.
and a little bit of chaos as we fade to black.
Ah.
Good stuff.
Poggy and Lanford. I'd love, later we see Poggy pretending to be a plant,
Yes.
trying out this
That's true.
pot. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's one of my
would-
favorite moments when Kanya would like
Yes.
sort of start. Poggy would like start to steal a glance. How am I doing? And then right back into character. So flippin'
Oh my
funny.
God.
Oh my
Kanya
gosh.
Chen as Poggy is just
Oh.
my favorite. So brilliant,
Mhm.
so funny, but it also so authentic. Like I think he really, really deeply understands who Poggy is and that
Mhm.
beautifully innocent character who just wants to be everybody's best friend. I would love to see more. I want more Poggy. More Poggy and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, obviously, we get a great episode later this season. That's a
Mhm.
fantastic spotlight on Poggy, but I kind of want to see season 3. I'm planting this seed, another plant pun, but I'm planting this seed that I want to see episodes where we don't see the Fraggle Five at all. Like,
Yeah.
give me a Poggy solo episode, or
Oh, yeah.
a
Mm.
Large Marvin episode, or
Yes.
anything. The storyteller episode. Like let's dive deep into like what are they doing when Gobo and the rest of them are off on some adventure.
Totally.
You know?
Ooh, that's
Kanya and I were
really
talking-
fun.
Yeah. Kanya and I were talking about how, because there's one moment where Poggy and Little Rago have a little chat about what they were doing last night or something, and we just riffed on that, like what would Poggy and Little Rago do all night? They'd probably just be jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Just like, let's jump up and down, okay, and then just jump up and down all night long. Or yeah, I want to see Poggy's world beyond what Poggy does, but like on their own adventures for sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask this at the top of the podcast, and I kind of forgot, but you mentioned Little Rago again, and Little Rago does not appear in this episode, but can you explain to me where Little Rago came from?
Well, that's one of the OG puppets.
Yes, but
that
like the
puppet, yeah.
character, yeah. Like
It has yet to be disclosed, Little Rago's backstory.
okay.
But
Okay.
they feel like somebody who's really interconnected to the rock, but like in a very kind of like a background sceney kind of way. Like Little Rago is somebody who knows everybody, knows everything that's going on, but I'm just here if you need me, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that feels like a tease for a future storyline in which we're going to learn a whole lot more about Little Rago.
Here's
You're
hoping.
making promises, Ingrid.
Or like they just maintain their man of mystery kind of mystique.
Yes. Oh, love that.
I just love that when I call Lanford my sweet son. Yes, it's about my sweet son Lanford. I thought, oh, that's the first time she's, given him a specific type of relationship. But I don't know when that happened, but also when in the Lost Fraggles episode where of course Mokey doesn't meet Slow Pokey, sadly, but
That's right.
you Lanford, you meet your doppelganger, which is a big mushroom that Dan Garza puppeteered, right? And
Yeah,
they
Manford.
Manford.
Yeah.
And you sob and Lanford throws a temper tantrum when Mokey tries to pull him away, and that was all improvised by you, Ingy.
Yeah.
And I
Just
think one time
hamming
I
it
said,
up, man.
and I think Mokey's saying sorry, and then I think one time I said he didn't get his nap.
Yeah.
I don't think that made it in, but I just love it. Lanford throwing a big temper tantrum.
I can identify with that. I feel like when you make a best friend at the playground, they're your best friend for life, and then your parent tries to pull you away, and it's like,
Yes.
Yeah. You
Big
made a new best
meltdown.
friend.
yeah, they
Yeah.
like they really understand each other. It's that instant
Yeah.
connection we were talking about.
You had that moment. We were like,
Yeah.
are we best friends?
We're
I
best
don't even know your
friends.
name, but I think
Yeah.
we're best friends.
Blah, blah.
Oh, I also have to
Manford.
tell you that Ingrid and I will leave each other voice messages as Mokey and Lanford.
Yeah.
I have Lanford singing me happy birthday.
Oh, that's
at least
nice.
twice.
Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
I was gonna say, like, is that odd that you get a voice message that you literally can't understand? But when it's happy birthday, I guess you could figure it
I
out.
totally understand.
Oh, excuse me. Of
Totally
course.
understand.
Donna and Ingrid, as we wrap up, I would love to know from each of you, how do you plan to make the world a little fragglier?
Ingy, do you want to go first?
I mean, I think in rewatching this episode too, it was like it reminded me how we all, not just this episode, anyway, in rewatching the whole season, it reminds me how we all think we're so different. Like the original vision of Fraggle Rock is all these different creatures who don't understand each other. They don't understand how they're interconnected, and they are so deeply interconnected. The Fraggles and the Doozers and the Gorgs and even the silly creatures. And I think it's a really good reminder that we can get so self-focused sometimes and focused in on these minutiae of things that really don't matter, and that in the big scheme of things we're all so similar and we really need each other and we need to take care of each other, and that we're deeply, and no matter how we no matter how we want it, we're deeply connected and reliant on all of each other and all of the natural world and everything. So just trying to remember that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Beautiful. Donna?
I really love that we have a lot of themes in this show about mental wellness. And, shooting this show during a pandemic, really both seasons,
Mhm.
the world was kind of not okay. And we had to sort of soldier on when, vaccines were being rolled out and who was going to get one and should we get one, should we not? And we have to wear masks. We were wearing masks 11 hours a day that we only would drop when we had dialogue. And circumstances were tough. And maybe that's why we all got so close. But that's a little sidebar. But I think that's why I love this episode so much, is to ask for help when you need it, because people generally are really willing to help. And that's what it is for me. And it's hard for us to, as adults, I think, to ask for help. I'm still learning that myself. But when someone drops their armor just to say, hey, I need help with this, I allowing others to be their best selves and actually help you, it helps everyone. And then together you can, solve the problem or just feel a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that. Well, Donna Kimball, Ingrid Hansen, thank you both so much for being here. Thank you for everything you brought to Fraggle Rock, and for bringing Fraggle Rock back into our lives. So very important now more than ever. And we hope that we'll be getting a season 3 and we can do a 3rd season of this podcast as well and have you both back.
Yes, right, Lanford?
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Fraggle Talk, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast, is brought to you by toughpigs.com. Produced, written, and hosted by Joe Hennis. Fraggle Talk art by Dave Hulteen Jr. Fraggle Rock mark and logo, characters, and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company, all rights reserved. Transcripts provided by Caitlin Miller. Fraggle Rock theme song, written by Philip Balsam and Dennis Lee, is used with permission. Special thanks to the Jim Henson Company, Apple TV Plus, and the entire Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock family. Be sure to follow Tough Pigs at Tough Pigs on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and please consider supporting us on Patreon or by buying merchandise on TeePublic. For more Fraggle podcast fun, listen to Fraggle Talk Classic on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time down at Fraggle Talk.